And for the same objective of discussion, we have with us our esteemed panelist, Mr. Raman Ahuja, Dr. Atul Bengeri, Ms. Rabia Bhatia, and Dr. Neeta Bali. We welcome you all.
Without further ado, we invite our first panelist for the day, Mr. Atul Bengeri, Vice President Director, AcumenToday Private Limited. He's an individual with over 22 years of experience in the IT industry with focus on digital transformation in the healthcare, enterprise, education, and government verticals. He has a proven track record on successes through strategic industry relationship, planning, sales, and marketing. Strong leadership and the ability to meet goals as well as identify and develop new opportunities in competitive and niche markets is one of his abilities. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sharon, for the wonderful introduction. And Shivani, thank you so much for this opportunity, to the entire team of Sharp NGO. Okay, so it's really a pleasure to be part of your webinar number 22, focusing on the youth and adolescent health. In fact, my earlier presentation on the same topic was, I think, in the month of August, which was on national education policy and also the mental health issues that the students would be facing. So the discussion points today are broadly mentioned as the agenda, which has been circulated. I'll not go into the details of this, but I will definitely touch base on all of this in the due course of the presentation. So, challenging times ahead. We need to get prepared and we need to get ready. That's the new normal, and that's the new norm that we all have been forced by the year 2020. The whole year has passed by. We have faced the challenges. We have seen a lot of things change in our lives. Are these changes going to remain, or are they going to change? It's for the time to tell. But if you ask most of us, I think there is a lot of learning that we all have undergone in the last 7, 8, or 9 months. And these learnings are for our good. These learnings for our growth. So let's take a look at what this is. And I would start with the quote of Charles Darwin. He is the father of evolution, if we want to talk about. He says, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. And what better way to experience all of this in a way that we have adapted ourselves, adapted to every situation that 2020 has thrown to us. I would have loved to have a physical interaction with all of you, but it's not possible because of a lot of reasons. Nevertheless, we have adapted ourselves of attending to such a webinar wherein I'm talking to all of you through a digital and a technology medium, but I'm actually staring at a screen. It's not human. It is like I'm talking to a machine. Of course, machine learning and artificial intelligence are also talk of the town, but that's not the focus today. But nevertheless, this is what we have adopted to, and going forward, it's going to be there. And the most important thing for all of us as we are in 21st century is that I will be called an illiterate, not just because I cannot read or write, but if I am not able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, as Toffler has said. We have learned a lot of things, we have unlearned a lot of things, and we are relearning a lot of things. And that is what is going to help us going forward, not just us as educators or as parents, but also as students. And that's exactly what we will talk about today. It's all about the mindset. It's about getting into the right frame of mind and bringing about the right thought processes, the right attitude, the right aptitude, the right behavior, the right skills for us to have the right mindset, have the right frame of mind going forward. With all the negativity around, it's very easy to be negative. And it's very easy to propagate negativity. Rather, negativity propagates faster than the positive mindset or the positive growth that we're talking about. And that's the reason why we have this webinar, to talk on the growth mindset. So we are all having a lot of fixations. We need to move away from being fixed to being a little bit mixed, because all of a sudden I can't change. I need to take baby steps. So with a fixed mindset, I cannot do anything. I need to open up, and that opening up starts slowly, steadily, and then the growth would come up automatically. And once I know that I can move from being fixed to mixed to the growth, it is basically, I am saying that I am capable of learning, unlearning, and relearning a lot of new things, or things that I knew in a different way, wherein I am applying it in a different manner now. So that is what we all talk about. Going forward, the new normal challenges are very confusing. They have brought about a lot of complexities. It in a lot of sense of being perplexed. Why that has led to is because students have switched to an online learning mode. Never has been the case that we shifted completely to an online mode. It was a hybrid mode. I would go to a school. As a student, I would go to a school, and then probably at home, if I want to look at something more, I would probably get onto a digital mode. But now it is completely digital. Limited assistance in learning, because it becomes very limited. My learning is limited to only that interaction for a limited period of time, and it limits to only my thinking and my frame of mind and my mindset. The collective learning has got a hit. And then disruptions of outdoor and social activities. This has played an havoc with the psychology of the children. And I will substantiate it with the research that has been conducted. I will talk about it, but these are some of the salient points wherein it has led to a lot of emotional dependency, the clinginess, the emotional turmoil that it has played on all of our minds. Not just adults, but more so with the children, especially the students. They're all being very irritable. This is one of the commonest psychological conditions that we have all faced, especially the children and the students across the globe. We have a lot of data from other countries, very limited data of India, but the points are all the same. The challenges are the same. Difficulty in paying attention, difficulty in attention. They are not able to provide the necessary attention and be attentive to some of the important aspects that they have been taught. There is a lot of distraction that happens, which is quite natural, and symptoms of anxiety and depression. While we were students, we never heard of words like depression, but these days it's becoming very, very common, and this pandemic has led to a lot of these issues actually coming to the fore. And then feeling of burdensomeness. There is a lot of burden on the children, is what the children feel. Yes, probably because of uncertain future, because of not knowing what they're doing, or rather they're doing too many things, multitasking. They want to do a lot of things because of probably peer pressure, or because of parents, or because of they themselves having interest. For whatever reason, the burdensomeness is also playing a major role. So this is actually the outcome of a national mental well-being survey conducted by Health Parliament. This was conducted in the month of November 2020, so it's very recent. It covered close to over 500 students across India. I will not go into the details, but I will talk about it at a high level. But again, what Stephen Hawking says is that intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Yes, again, after Charles Darwin, I'm quoting this from Stephen Hawking, which says intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Yes, and we are all born intelligent. As human race, we are all born intelligent, and that is the ability that we all have, which helps us to adapt to change. And 2020 is a wonderful year if you look at it, for testing our intelligence, testing our adaptability, testing our learning, testing all of the new things that has the life has thrown to us. So this is about the survey. I will not go into the details. Little bit about this, wherein it was conducted for 15 years and above to the age of 29, and this is what it talks about. It captured students from 9th to 12th standard for sure, graduation and post-graduation courses. And look at this. Only 17% of the children or the students didn't have any practical, and 83% faced a lot of issues because they were not able to conduct those practical experiments, and that led to a lot of learning deficiency, which would mean that the curriculum was more theoretical for them, which has led to a lot of stress. Okay, so what happened? So the impact of pandemic has actually thrown open on common issues of behavioral issues like stress, anxiety, reduced concentration, I'm not able to concentrate, and difficulties in routine activities, because my whole timetable, my whole schedule of the day has been thrown to the winds. I'm at sea at getting to come to terms with anything that is happening. And only 1% of the participants didn't face any. That's really meager number. Okay, so look at this. So when asked on the ease of performing daily activities, 29% they had disturbed sleeping pattern, and 26% spoke about loss of interest in performing tasks. So many students have got the feeling of losing interest. That's a very alarming thing. That's very bad. In fact, when it comes to losing interest in performing tasks, that's not what should happen to any student. And disturbed sleep pattern, of course, we can change it. Now look at the figure number 8, is a distribution of health problem. What has led to all of this? 53% there's weight gain. Oh my goodness, yes. No physical activity, that is leading to a lot of health issues, physical health issues, which is also leading to a lot of mental health issues. So probably there needs to be some corrective measures before the students start going into the next academic year into physical schools. And look at the 47%. It talks about high screen exposure leading to health issues. Yes, we've all seen a lot of students going to ophthalmologists, to neurologists, to psychologists, to counselors, and a whole lot of issues that have cropped up. Not just because of high screen exposure, but what else would a student do sitting at home? Thanks to technology, thanks to digital interventions, we have ways and means in which I can keep my mind engaged. And when I'm keeping my mind engaged, that leads to a toxic positivity. Now we'll come to what toxic positivity is, but this is all leading to a lot of issues, which is talking about feeling of being helpless, reduced concentration I spoke about, reduced motivation, I'm not motivated to do anything. Losing interest in doing things is a very bad thing to talk about at this age when we talk about adolescence. And then stress, of course, and mood swings. Not necessarily all of this are induced by the pandemic. It is also because of the age-related issues of the hormonal changes and the endocrines being at their peak, and a whole lot of other growth and developmental issues that adolescent age has. But then, to add to this pandemic has put in anxiety and a whole lot of other stuff. So digital device distancing is what we from AcumenToday, that's my education entrepreneurial stint that I am working on for the last almost 3 years now, is to look at how can I look at distancing myself from the digital device. We have all got used to social distancing. Of course, these days nobody is that much bothered, but we still need to be looking at social distancing. And extending the same concept, we at AcumenToday have brought about 10 reasons for the students, especially the students. Of course, it holds good for the elders also, but focusing on the children and especially the adolescent children, digital device distancing is also something that needs to practice. And we have 10 very small interesting videos that we have created and put on YouTube, which actually talks about that it is distracting, it is waste of time, sleep disruption. So it definitely leads to a lot of mental health issues, which we will open up during the discussion. But for the time being, this is what I will end up with, which is added to the stress of many students not able to understand the nuances of online classes. There have been academic delays, there have been academic uncertainties, the timetable has gone for a toss, and there is a lot of students who have the inability to join classes, and about their future and their career and what life has in store for them going forward has put in a lot of pressure. And that's where we are today to discuss.
Thank you, Sharon, and good evening, all the panelists. It was indeed a very nice session. I am an emotional wellness coach, and I work with students and adults alike. One thing that I wanted to ask was, even though in this pandemic we have seen a lot of changes in the mental health, but when we talk about the mindset, there's a gross difference in the mindset of our parents and the students, right? And even adults have faced this problem that, even at the age of 35, they have a conflict with their families. And when we're talking about young kids, shouldn't we, take into consideration the mindset of the parents and counsel the parents, instead of counseling the students or, mentoring the students in that, because students are affected a lot. And when we talk about, Dr. Neeta also talked about that they should look for a confidant. But hardly, everyone is there on the mobile. The parents are there on the mobile. The friends are there on the mobile or the laptop. So the students is not getting any confidant, so as to say. Then how should we go about it? And I would really, look forward to Sharp NGO if we can, arrange a webinar for the parents also, because and teachers also, because they are the one who are the first time dealing with the kids, and kids are retracting from them. They've become I would say rebellious. So any one of the panelists, all the panelists can just answer what can be done in this situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishali. Mr. Atul, would you like to answer?
Yeah, so during a lot of my parenting awareness programs and student awareness programs, the first and foremost thing I tell all of them is that life has given us the opportunity of a lifetime for all of us to be together as a family. So this is the time to actually bond, to understand, and to reflect on our relationships with each other, especially with growing children. So we need to definitely have focused attention on what they are doing, what they are involved in, and provide them with the right route or channelize them into the right direction, rather than just letting them do what they have to, because it's very easy to do something that is easy to do. The effort comes in only where there is something that is difficult. And like Dr. Neeta Bali said, there needs to be a regimen. There needs to be a timetable, basically, regime, right? So have that discipline incorporated in your daily tasks. That is the only way we can get our children and ourselves to be structured and to align with the various changes and distractions that may come in.